Good morning. Was thinking about this and that, and wanted to share it with the internet, but please take everything I say with a grain of salt. Take this as entertainment. Don't, take me serious. I was thinking about religion, and it's almost following the analogy of a pyramid. The levels of sophistication, levels of intelligence, levels of decency are represented in this pyramid. As you go up, it's better. As you go down, it's worse, you see. So religious people are closest to the bottom, unfortunately. So once upon a time, religious people, they were like, you know what, let's find a day of the week in which everybody just gathers, inside a building, and we pay homage to our Lord and stuff. And they decided Saturday or something. But one day, I don't know what happened, they decided to move it to Sunday. So they move it to Sunday. Okay, now it's Sunday, let's celebrate our deity on Sunday. But then came the question of Easter, because their religion is tied to astrology. And the sun is almost the avatar for their god. So what better, what better option if not the sun? So in astrology, the sun, when it, starts its way up into the northern hemisphere, it kind of stays put for 3 days. Yes, it starts, it goes down into the southern hemisphere. When it starts going up, there's a period there in which it still rotates and stuff. But again, we are talking from the perspective in which it's the sun that moves, not the earth. So the sun stays, in its trajectory, but it doesn't move north. It just stays there for 3 whole days. And once it starts moving again towards the north, people celebrate, So they say that their deity kind of, passed away for 3 days and went back, resurrected, and came back to life 3 days later. And because they celebrated, this deity in Sunday, they will be like, this celebration, Easter, ought to be on a Sunday. And they were like, yeah, we agree, but how are we going to manage that? Because, once upon a time, people still had a calendar of 13 months, yeah? And every month had exactly 28 days. And it was precisely, mathematical precision every year around. We still have vestiges. For instance, September is 7, October is 8, none or 9, or November, and Dec is December, and so on and so on. Because the next 3 months after December, we call them today January, February, and March, whereas the other 3 months that completed the whole set. So they decided to mess everything up in order to put the ascension or the rebirth exactly on a Sunday. And eventually they had to mock people who kept the tradition. You see, they decided to change things, but there was still a lot of pagans, that was stubborn. And they kept celebrating Happy New Year at the end of March. It was a big celebration, lasted for days, weeks, I don't know. So they decided, let's mock them. Let's everybody that still celebrates things, Happy New Year around March, the end of March, let's call them fools. So the April Fool's Day was born, So they mock people in April Fools, and a couple of some days later, there's Easter, that exactly, spot on a Sunday. So in order to achieve that, they had to mess up the calendar. They had to suppress one constellation. Was a constellation of the snake or the soul, which was very significant for, past metaphysics like the Druids, But all of that, And of course, there was changes as well in the perspective. It was around the same time that they decided that it was actually the Earth that moved, it was not the sun. So they kind of explain it away, saying, "Oh, it's Earth's orbit, and we have to blah blah blah, a leap year, in order to fix that." And I mean, that's change of perspective, and that's it. So anyway, and I think all of this happened because they wanted Easter to be on Sunday. Every year it's on Sunday. They will go into extreme lengths so that Easter is on Sunday. So tell me what you guys think. Have a nice day.